So in how many levels are we going to implement the teaching of Bhagwan Krishna? 3 levels. Hopefully we have already managed to implement it to some level because we have been studying it for 7-8 years. Something at least has probably been absorbed and implemented. The first level at which you can absorb and implement the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita is at the physical level, material level, tangible level. What are my duties? What are my obligations in life? What is the meaning of varna? What is the meaning of ashram? What is the meaning of karma? These practical things. How can I be most efficient in my job? How can I do my work without stress and strife? How can I have relationships without gadbad? At the material level. The next level we can learn is at the psychological or emotional level. How to keep the mind stable. How to keep the mind in a good space. What are the negative emotions or negative tendencies that I need to avoid? And what are the good qualities I need to imbibe? Lord Krishna will tell you very, very specifically the good qualities and the bad qualities. And he will tell you at least, if I am not mistaken, there are at least 3 to 4 times the list comes in Bhagavad Gita of the good qualities that we need to imbibe. And then the spiritual level. How can I know who I am? How can I regain my spiritual being, my spiritual identity? How can I regain my divinity? How can I liberate myself from karma? How can I liberate myself from sansar? How can I liberate myself from getting born and dying and born and dying and born and dying million times? Clearly mentions how this the technique of doing this in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, this text is so popular. Why? Because it addresses different levels of seekers. Those who want to just be happy in the material world, those who want to work more on their mental level, spiritual level, whatever level you want to work on, it is available for you in the Bhagavad Gita. And you can definitely, don't have to work only at one level. Maybe something appeals to you from the material level, something else appeals to you at the psychological level, and something else appeals to you at the spiritual level. Any of these 3 and all of these 3 are valid, not only when Bhagavad Gita was written, but more valid today. Why do I say more valid today?
Because the times we live in.
What is the time we are living in? We are in Kali Yuga. We are in Kali Yuga. And this was written probably around Dwapar Yuga. So, the situation, the life, the sansar, the people, the tendencies, all have become more negative now in Kali Yuga. And there is a greater possibility of falling from your spiritual growth in Kali Yuga. Therefore, this is the most useful text for all of us. When I say falling, what does it mean? Patan means what?
Moving away from the path of dharma.
Okay. Why not side? Why patan? Why fall? Why going down? But why going there? What does it mean?
So either you rise or you the opposite.
But rise where and fall where?
Rise towards getting your
Rise
goal.
Huh?
Rise towards achieving your goal of liberation, and falling is.
But if my goal is down, then I'll be achieving my goal.
Rising is
Animal
towards
life,
godliness.
human form.
Huh?
Rising is towards godliness and falling down is being like an animal.
Correct. Correct. Right now we are somewhere in the middle. When Satya Yuga started, in the beginning of creation, we were all divine only. There were all Rams only on this planet. Everyone was filled with divinity. But we had a free will to do whatever we wanted. And with that free will of doing whatever we wanted, we also had to bear the consequences of whatever actions we chose to do. And unfortunately, in the Garden of Eden, we all chose to eat the apple. So, over so many lifetimes, we kind of renounced our godliness in favor of ungodliness, and being born human, and instead of rising towards more and more divinity, we started developing more and more animalistic tendencies: anger, greed, jealousy, violence, hatred, etc., etc. And with each of these negative tendencies which we developed, we kept going lower and lower on the spiritual ladder, instead of going higher and higher and being once again merged with our Supreme Being. So, in Kali Yuga, we need this. We need to rise. We need to become once again perfect human beings, and then move forwards and upwards towards being divine beings. Frankly speaking, or in essence, are you animal, human, or divine? Right now, what are you?
The human form.
In essence, what are you?
Divine.
In essence, you are all divine. In essence, we are all divine, but we have forgotten that divinity, and because of that, we are acting out without knowledge, without consciousness, without thinking, without using our buddhi. We are acting out lifetimes of sanskars that we had as animals, and unfortunately, if we are not stopping that right now, if we are not containing that tendency right now, our eternal bliss will be continuously postponed.